Good morning. I am 5 minutes earlier today. So if you're watching this in recording, you're welcome to fast forward 5 minutes to the beginning of the actual practice or stay with us through our hellos, the usual. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Ari. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, Gina. All right, it is time for us to start. And today we continue our in-depth exploration of loving kindness practice. And by the way, I just want to reiterate, which something you probably already know, but the actual name for this practice is metta meditation, metta, Metta. And metta is a Pali word that was at some point translated as loving kindness. And loving kindness is one word, not loving, pause or space, kindness as two words, but one, referring to the unique concept behind it. So it's not just kindness, it's not just love, but it's this absolute benevolence to all beings, to all there is, to the suchness of life. So as we explore this practice this month, I'll be using both terms interchangeably, metta and loving kindness. Good morning, Mariela. So take a comfortable position, and as always, take a few moments to acknowledge all the circumstances of your practice, starting with the external, the sounds, sensations of the outer world, and then slowly zooming in on your inner experiences, your inner world. Allowing things to be just as they are, acknowledging them. Let your breath be soft and easy, completely comfortable without forcing. And let this easy breath be the invitation for your body, mind, and heart to soften, to stop holding up, but rather relax and trust that whatever is happening right now is perfect, just the way it is. Softening from the inside out, releasing tension. And before we start the actual practice, I'm going to give you a little bit of a story behind this meditation, and I'll be doing it all the time during this month. So, the Buddha first taught the metta meditation as an antidote to fear, as a way of surmounting terrible fear whenever it arises. And the legend behind it is that the Buddha sent a group of monks to meditate in a forest that was inhabited by tree spirits. And these spirits were completely evil. They absolutely resented the presence of the monks and tried to drive them away at all costs. So they appeared as scary visions with awful smells, terrible shrieking noises. And the tradition says that the monks became really terrified and ran back to the Buddha, begging him to send them to a different forest where it's nice and quiet so that they can finally practice. But instead, the Buddha replied, No, I'm going to send you back to the same forest, but I will provide you with the only protection that you need. And he taught them the metta meditation. And that was the first teaching of this practice. So the Buddha encouraged the monks not only to recite the metta phrases, but also to actually practice them. And of course, all these stories and legends and in traditions seem to end very happily, and so did this one. It is said that the monks went back to the forest, practiced metta, and the tree spirits became really moved by the beauty of the loving energy filling the whole forest. And so they resolved to care for the monks, to serve them in all ways. And the inner meaning of the story is that a mind filled with fear can still be penetrated by the quality of loving kindness. More than that, a mind that is saturated by loving kindness cannot be overcome by fear. And of course, the fear will arise as it always does, just because we are living in an actual world and not a fantasy. But even when fear arises, it will not overpower a mind that lives in loving kindness. So when we practice metta, we open continuously to the truth of our actual experience without any soft focus, without any lenses smeared with Vaseline, changing our relationship to life, taking all that is just as it is, not good or bad, just the way it is. Metta, the sense of love that is not bound to desire, that does not have to pretend that things are other than the way they are, it overcomes the illusion of separateness, of not being part of a whole. And so metta overcomes all of the states that accompany this fundamental error of separateness, this fear, alienation, loneliness, despair, all of the feelings of fragmentation. And in place of all these errors of separateness, the genuine realization of connectedness brings unification, confidence, safety. So let's explore this together now with the actual practice. Take a moment to settle back in your comfortable position, to just check in with your outer surroundings and your inner world. Your breath easy, your body relaxed. And again, we do the same practice as we did yesterday. We'll invoke the feeling of loving kindness, the felt sense of it, the felt as it is felt in the body, by sending the energy of loving kindness to a dear person or dear being in our life, and then we'll turn inward. So now bring to mind somebody who is really, really dear to you, a person, a pet, a being that you consider a benefactor of sorts. And holding their image in your mind, in your heart, start sending the loving kindness energy to them. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well in body and mind. May they be happy, healthy, and at ease. May they know deep, natural peace. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes in silence so that you explore that. Remember, as you recite the verse, you can change the words to what resonates most to you right now. And also keep part of your attention on your body. Notice how the body responds to this experience. Now finish the verse. Take a nice breath in and out. And turn the same energy that you have been able to generate through practicing loving kindness toward a dear one. Now turn it to yourself. Remember, you can put your hand on your heart or both hands on your heart, or however you want to do it, whatever makes you feel safe. Start reciting your verse, directing it to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I be happy, healthy, and at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. Of course, change the words if you feel inspired to do that. Again, I'll give you some silent space to be in this experience. Again, finish your verse. Take a nice breath in and out, and slowly come back to this moment. Perhaps scan your body right now to notice how you're feeling. If there is any change in how you're feeling now compared to the very beginning of this practice, acknowledge it. If there is no change, don't worry. It does not mean that you're doing something wrong. It's just, it just is. What we're trying to do when we acknowledge things is just to pay attention, to create this habit of paying attention. Nothing more, nothing less. As you go through your day today, I invite you to notice every time you get a little bit scared of something, or maybe when you get angry at something, is there a fear behind this anger? Or is there fear behind frustration or annoyance? What is this fear about? And even if you don't understand what it is about, can you, in that moment, direct some loving kindness energy to yourself? Whether it's just putting your hand on your heart and saying, it's okay, everything is okay, all is well in my life, all is well in my world. Or reciting the actual mantra of loving kindness and see if it changes anything. As always, I'd love to know about your experience, so sharing is very welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.